Good morning, beautiful people. How are you doing? Oh, this needs to go off. I hope everyone is doing well. Make sure this is off. Here we go. Okay, so I missed them. So this was actually the zero point 0.5 of the weekly ring, the weekly wick. That was my target for London. We already went there. I just opened my chart and I think, shit, we are obviously now most likely going to take out the liquidity and going back into the range. We might get a continuation to the downside because I don't think we're done yet. But I was damn. Um, that's a large move already. So let's see. Here we go. I just want to make sure that everything's up and running. Hey Jeremiah, good morning to you. How are you doing? So yeah, the move already started. I mean, I thought this would be like my, yesterday I did not trade much and I thought, oh, well, and I was looking at the levels and I thought, okay, this is a nice level around this area. I had zero point 0.5 here, the weekly wick. So I used the weekly wick here and I had some other confluences. Actually, I was aiming for this level here. And then I was just looking like, oh my God, it's already, we have a breaker here forming. And I'm like, oh, it already hit that level. So yeah, so it just went down all the way and now we already, I don't think I wonder if we're all the way, if we're back, if we're done fully, but we'll see. Let's see how, if we go all the way back to midnight. I'm just going to lower I think I'm going to lower my, to here, previous day low. I'm going to get this out of the way quickly. What time is it? 1:53. Do it here. It's 1:53. I don't want it to slam back down on me. Just wanna... ha 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 ha. Oh shit. Well, that always happens with this. It's so annoying. Once you put this thing on and you have your trade on, you have to be careful. No, Philip, I did not trade, to be honest. I missed the trade and I had to practice patience because I couldn't find a proper entry and I also had a bit back pain. I don't know if people are into fitness, but it's my gluteus maximus. Once I've done it, when I overdo it, some training, I get like it gets so irritated and it goes into my back, and then I can hardly walk, and it takes a few days. I've had it before, but it's from my gluteus maximus for those who are into fitness. But so once I have that, it's so distracting. So I did not. I knew I could not. I took a very 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 small trade, but it's not really. I don't want to really advertise it because it was really very small, and I just made about 84 bucks. But it's not really a trade that I can technically frame. Like here, for example, we hit the zero point 0.5 of the weekly range. We have an inversion. We have a breaker. I enter here and I take it. That's not how I trade it. How did you actually manage to trade it? But listen, I did reverse engineer some, and it's just, every once a month or actually twice a month we can have these moves, and it's so awesome if you're able to time them and to expect them. And sort of in London, remember we were like already looking. Um, and I didn't get my full move that I wanted, but I was actually looking forward to get smaller trades, and that was already actually a sign, like, oh, London didn't give that move. And if you have calculations of those levels, and you know that, why is it not happening? It's so interesting, because then it's then you have to have patience and wait to the New York session. But hey, listen, I really want to know if people took that move and where they got in. I got a message on my Discord from someone who managed to SK. He managed to got that move, and it was pure technical. He used a 4-hour CE level and then an order block, and he just managed to get in, and he managed to get Asia lows all the way to Asia lows, and yeah. So okay, so this trade worked out. Now let's see. I wonder if we are fully done to the downside. I think we might have a continuation, but we'll see if we're done or not. Okay, that was a nice quick trade. I'm trying to get better in shorter trades, so that was also the purpose of yesterday. Just to also get base hits instead of the large moves all the time, because sometimes you just don't, you're not as quick, or you're just not as you're not on time, because you need to be on time for the large moves, because you want to position yourself properly. Okay, now let's go to the lower time from here. So okay, so I just want to mention this 0.5 level. So this was exactly here, right, of the weekly wick here. So that was actually my aim for London. I was thinking that we might get there during London or pre-market. I don't know. I thought I had time, so I didn't look at the markets that much. And this, so the weekly wick here, that's where we just reversed off. Here we go, this one. And as you can see, the midpoint is exactly also in an older N walk, so it's a level of significance. Once you see that, if it's a wick, also lining up with a N walk, and exactly the midpoint of the N walk is midpoint of the wick, you can use it as a point of liquidity. Now we already got here. Now the question is, are we just having a retracement to the upside to go further down to take out the low, the weekly low, or are we reversing here? That's the question. Now I think I'll do a poll. I think I like to do a poll. I think let me refrain from saying what I think. But okay. Well, I'm done, guys. I already have my trade. Bye. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm not going to trade anymore. I already have my 40 points. So, and this is all the analysis that I can. I'm just joking, guys. We're just getting started. But it's frustrating if you miss the move. So I just want to go in the psychological part of missing a move like that, right? So when the move starts, you can't really frame a proper trade, because it doesn't give you any retracements. It just doesn't. You really have to be okay with letting it go, because you also just think about, okay, you know what's happening? They're just creating the other side of the curve, which you can be able to take on the other side. So you just let it go now to the downside. You wait for your change in state delivery, and then the data has been printing yesterday. So if you miss the move, it's fine. You just let it go, because that data you can use later on, and then it's not a gamble anymore, because you have this side, you have the other side. I'm streaming from South Africa, but I'm from the Netherlands originally. So yeah. Here we go. Now look at the 4 hour. Do you think we are going to go over all these three large 4 hour candles? Are we going to reverse here, or are we going to just have a retracement back to midnight? Um, maybe half into Asia and go back down, or are we really reversing it because we hit the midpoint of the weekly wick, right? Are we going to go into this 4 hour fair value gap? Or are we going to go? Are we going to use these wicks? When I see these wicks, I'm always a little bit on. I don't trust it too much. Let me put it that way. That we are going to go straight back into this area here because we have a lot of wicks here as well. So I'm always a little bit hesitant. I could be wrong, obviously, but I would rather watch to really see are we really getting a change in state delivery. So for me, when we have such a large move, my minimum will be a 15-minute CISD or market structure shift before I really consider it a change. So we are on the 15. Let me just. Yeah, so you want to wait for 15 minutes. Now, technically, you can say, oh, yeah, we got it. You got your inversion here already. Yes, we do. But we need to, this one needs to close. So we don't until this one is closed. So we really want to wait until 2:15. I need to close the doors because they're going to make some noise. So if we just get a wick here again and it doesn't close over this one here, I don't consider it a change in state delivery. Oh, my bad. Oh, here we go. So let's see if this is the high, and we're just going to go back down. So then we don't have a change in state, and we know we have a continuation, right? The downside. 2. So exactly at 2 o'clock we hit this level here. Yeah. I'm actually inclined to go for a short again, but I'm just going to wait a little bit. To It's a little bit tricky area here because we've got midnight above us. And I don't think we're going to get a change in state of delivery in the 15, but look how it's beautifully setting up, right? All these levels are just going to be beautiful once we are ready to go back up. So don't be too like, if you want to be, I mean, I get it. I am an impatient person as well. So I've already, every time I take a loss, it's because I'm impatient. But you really want to wait for a closure here. But also here, it's already at a fair value gap. So it doesn't make sense if this one is going to close here and then now just go straight up into it, right? Because you already have it seems to me like it wants to make another low though, like a more, and then this might become also a part of, we'll see. Well, let's just wait. I'm not going to say too much because I just don't know, to be honest. It just doesn't look like it's going to be, it's going to set up. I don't think it's going to close. We're not going to get a 15-minute closure. See, it's already like going down. I think I want to go short. I'm going to paper trade short here. Let me just see. 2 o'clock. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm too soon. Maybe we are going to make a high and then go lower after later on. But I don't want to change in the state of delivery yet on the 15. I really want it to not make that. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. We're gonna go to midnight. I'm gonna get out. Anyone take that? Did anyone trade it from yesterday? Okay, London session. I'm gonna make a poll. So, question for London is, okay. Again, I see some new people came in. So, I thought when I closed this chart yesterday that I was looking at the weekly wick here, and this here is exactly 50%, and 50% is exactly where we bounced off now of the weekly wick. So I thought that was my London, that was the range I could play with from maybe somewhere here, then to here at some point. But obviously I looked at the chart and we just bounced into it already at 138, and we are up now. Now, so I have to go back to the drawing board and frame my trade. But my question is for London. Are we going to go lower now? So we already hit the 50% of a weekly range, the weekly wick. That's this wick. Are we going to go lower in London, or are we already going to reverse and then go back down maybe later in New York? So question for London is, the poll is for London. Bowser, you already, how many prop firms have you already, it's good, it's a good thing that you slept through to the big move, because you already, it keeps you from getting more prop firms out of business. Hey, listen, I missed a move as well yesterday. I mean, but hey, I reverse engineer, and I'm now really seeing a pattern here when to enter. So I'm just sort of like, you know what, it's okay. This is the second time I missed it, but I started for London session. Bowser, London. I'm working on bank. Oh yeah, yeah. I was wondering if who was behind Top Step, but I mean, I think Top Step is doing the damage itself, right? Or they're changing the rules because of you. Okay, London session. Is London session bullish? London session bullish or bearish? So I'm just talking about so are we creating a London high or a London low? Is London going lower or higher than the 50% of the wick here and 50% of that end wall? Bullish or bearish? I'm a little bit annoyed because I thought, oh my god, you know, I have this level and I'm really, I have my I really have my playing field set for tomorrow, and I just have to find my entry, and then you know, I have my fixed move until here. Now, oh, I I almost said the F word. Um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to. I'm a very neat person. So, and I just saw it go here. I'm like, what? Is it already at the 0.5? And I'm like, oh my god, it's already at this level. So then I quickly took a trade here. Just I thought, okay, well, it hit 0.5 above 0.5 the end walk. I mean, that's an easy trade, right? So you know it's going to go either reverse or it's retracing. So I took that trade. It was 43 points or something. And now I'm yeah, I know. Top Step changing payouts, and also if you go to live, you get very little of what you build up, and you work for to I don't know, and it's bullshit. I don't even it's just so as our trader, you took the long at 670, 670, and took it. Yeah. So I did the same. I took it. I saw this and then I thought, okay, we got the inversion breaker. We're just going to go up. And I just took it very quickly up to previous day low. It's a quick trade because I was like, what? I already missed the whole move. Um, so now question. What are we going to do for a London session? Now, I do believe that the better moves now are back in New York. So my question is, do you think we can get all these 4-hour candles up to this 4-hour? I'm not sure if that's possible in this London session to go, that this is the reversal candle now. We're gonna get another one and then straight up into here. I don't know. It seems to me like a structure here, like we're gonna get one more leg down. With 0.5. Are we gonna consolidate here? Hey, Lock and Q. So, full transparency, guys, my bias was up until this level, my short level, and I sort of like, okay, we could go maybe a little bit lower, but this is 0.5, midpoint of that weekly wick, and it hit it already. So I'm out. I'm out of ideas for London. Well, not really. I have to really reassess, but that was my playing field, so to speak. But we're just going to use new data, I guess. We just have to look. So yeah, share your curious what you guys think. I'm gonna go to the 5-minute. I'll go to the 9-minute now. You guys know I love my 9-minute. Okay, so Asia. We went below Asia. We hit the 0.5, the weekly wick. Breaker, breaker, another breaker. Hey, Mr. Chaos Factor, Log and Q. Already said hi to Log and Q. I want to see the London session, bullish or bearish? So far, bearish 80%, bullish 20%. Okay. Well, you know, the thing is that, well, yeah, Top Step betrayed some of its members. Yeah, well, actually, it betrayed everyone, right? Because they literally said they will never have, oh, they also had the daily trailing drawdown on live. That is effing ridiculous. So, that is just, you're just screwed. It looks pretty bullish to me now. Okay, midnight is nearby. One guy lost $30,000. Yeah, that is horrible. I mean, that's why I always say, guys, well, hey, everything is almost done. Hey, listen, Edge Clear, they're really very serious about our partnership. He sent me a letter. He said, apologies for the delay because we really are making a landing page for you specifically. So if people sign up through my link, they're going to land at a specific landing page, and they're making it very, very professional. So I'm just saying, like, you know, nothing beats an own account. And like I said, you don't need a lot of money to start with your own account. And, you know, okay, so midnight, we tagged into midnight. Let's see now. You just want to milk, you know, this is how I think about the props, the prop firms. The prop firms are there to make money, and you have to understand they're not there for you. They're just a business model. So you're just a product. So you just have to take your payouts, but do not build buffers. Do not build buffers there. So that's why I don't like to have large accounts with them. So I have to really work hard to get to my profit and then also make another buffer. So I would rather have more smaller prop firm accounts. So it's easy to make your $3,000 or your 1,500, even on a 25K account. You know, you pass it test in one day, you go to the profit target in one day, and then you can already take payouts after, you know, after you built your buffer very quickly, and then you take your payouts and in the days that come. So don't waste time building buffers and then they suddenly change the rules. It happens so many times. And I think it's now naive if people do it. You're asking for problems. You're asking for being set up. And people that do it now, I'm like, you know what? If you manage to trade a large account, you manage to make that much money, why have you not invested in your own account? You are being a fool. So, I mean, after all that happens now, I really think if people do that, I'm thinking, okay, well, you're literally asking for it. There's been so many examples now already this whole year. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. And you know, the money that people spend to buy a large, if you buy a 300K account, 150, you can put that in another account. You need $1,000. You can already start trading M&Q on a live account. You build it. So, but anyway, I will push more on that because I still love Funded Next as my only prop firm that I'm using. But I'm just saying, don't build buffers. Don't go ahead and build. You know, if you build up $30,000 and then you get, it's horrible. I mean, yeah, Mr. Chaos Factor. I want to know as well if who got that move to the, or even just a little piece of the pie. I got a really small trade. So I can't even mention because it's not technical. it is not really anything technical, but it was a beautiful move, right? Beautiful. But if you missed it, it's okay because we have a lot of data now. We've got a lot of price action. So we're just gonna watch and catch a good trade. The only thing that I find sometimes a little bit difficult to read now is that the levels are, there's so much data now in one of those, so it's not like a clear, very clean breaker like we normally have. You know, you have like more to the downside. It's a lot of consolidation, and then it has moved down. And I just wonder if we are. I'm just not sure if we're done to the downside yet. So I lean bearish, if I may. Why the sell? Hey Tommy, how are you doing? Yeah, lock and queue. I think everybody hates Top Step. I think they're public enemy number one right now. I mean, hey, listen, they had a tweet like, "We will never ever do trailing drawdown on live," and now they did it. So, Mr. Chaos Factor, it's just the same thing happened last week, right? Or last month, I must say. Look, you see those build up here. You see here this. It's the same here and here. You know, you have an up movement. You go. And especially on well, let me show you on the daily as well, what makes it more clear. We still had this gap here to fill, right? So one could frame, like I thought, okay, well, if we have a down movement, I would have framed it up to here. But obviously we went down, I think 500 points more. And if you look at this N walk, technically we can say, okay, this one is already done on the daily. We already buy side, sell side in here. So there's no need for us to go lower. But could we take out the low here? Maybe, could we? But on the IPTA, we are actually, let's go to the IPTA levels. It's a hard read now for me, to be honest. I mean, where are the inefficiency where we could go to? I actually thought we might have a body closure here because we still have only wicks here. So that was actually one of the areas I was looking into yesterday, or up to yesterday. So, and then this one was here still open. So it was either this or this level here, or actually up to here, 200. So could we get a wick all the way back up to here today? Is that possible? I need you to. But Mr. Chaos Factor, but you never know. Well, there was a way for me that what I when once we started going down yesterday, I was looking at the weekly wick. I'll show you, and that is this beautiful wick here. Let me put on the gradients. It's actually better. I was just looking at the 0.5 level for today, but we already hit it. So, um, so this weekly wick, we just tagged exactly in the 50% of that weekly wick here. So I was already looking at that, but I didn't know that we would go there all the way yesterday. But once we started moving downwards, I was looking at that 50%. And I was like, okay, well, and we tagged into that 50% just this morning. So now we get this little move to the upside back to New York, to midnight. Why is my 50% here different than my other 50%? That's weird. It should be the same. So that was my level for today. This was actually my level here, the midpoint of the end walk, and it was 0.5 as well. So I was like, okay, well, that was my playing field, and now we hit it. So I just have to watch, see what's going on. Midnight, midnight. I'm gonna take a paper trade from here again. So, um, are we done? 2:30. Yeah, I'm getting out. You know what? I'm just remembering something. I think we're gonna get an Asia high. We're gonna go a little bit higher and then go lower. Um, pom 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 pom. I'm just looking at the settlement price here. It's right above us as well. 2470. Two high. Bullish. 9 votes, 44. Still bearish. 0.5. 2:30. 2 o'clock is here. Important here. Let's see. Mm, 20. I want to show you guys something else I noticed. February 6th. This opening range gap is of 6th of February. We don't have any sell side here, and also no buy side, as you can see. So we left this one. We just went up. Now, what tends to happen, especially around the 1/3 levels, we could create some level, go back up and leave this for later on, but I'm just not hoping that. Yeah, we need to go. Yeah, I'm still buried. Well, I actually hope to be already. I want to have more clarity before we get into London Open. I hope to be able to position myself a little bit better, but we might trickle back. We might go up all the way in London, and then might form a London high between 2:30 and 4ish maybe, and then go back into the range, or maybe even New York. Oh God, my back is just killing me. It's just this bloody gluteus maximus. It's like so irritated, and then it just gives you. It's some kind of exercise that I do, and I just overdo it most likely all the time. Or it's a weak. I don't think I overdo it. It's just a weak thing. So if I do the wrong thing, let me put it that way, the wrong exercise or movement, then I'm screwed, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm just wondering if I should position myself or should I wait until we hit settlement price. Okay, now what did we do in the 150 to 210 macro? We went up, up. We hit exactly 2 o'clock here. We are exactly here at 224, 25. So 230 is going to be back into the range of the 150 to 210 macro. So now that's sort of like almost bearish to me. I'm just thinking if I should position myself already. I'm just a little bit annoyed that we hit this level already. That was my, when this level would not be here, and then this would be such an easy trade now. Now I've got obstacles here. So most of you are bullish. Most of you are bullish. I think once we are below, I think I'm gonna use this one here. I'm gonna use this little one here. Previous day low. Once you get below that, I'm gonna enter with my stop above this one here. But I don't like the time. $2.30. It's two. From high to Asia high. Asia expansion model shake. Midnight. Yeah. It would be nice if we get we can trade off the London, the first presented fair value gap. Let's hope it goes up a little bit more. We create a first presented and we go below that one. I think I would rather wait for that. And if we go higher above that one, we also have our answer, right? So I'm just gonna wait for that. Just gonna see now if it's not going below this fair value gap here, inversion. Where's your poo-poo? Oh, so lekker. Oh, you've got such a good life. I'm gonna put on the fan. The cat is always here, Mr. Chaos Factor. The cat is always sleeping behind the laptop. There's one cat always sleeping behind the laptop. The other one, I don't know. I think it's sort of like the moment I start streaming, she jumps on the desk and she goes sleeping behind the laptop. The little fluffy. Yeah, this one is a little my little one. Yeah. Now this 4 hour didn't have a wick, so I think we were forming the wick. So technically, I'm almost. I don't think we're gonna go much higher with this candle. I think this is the high. Cats are so relaxed. Yeah, I mean they're very. They're nice and quiet, and they're very relaxing. Well, there were clinical studies that people have anxiety if they listen to purring cats. They calm them. They are it works calming on them. Yeah, no, mine are very playful. In the morning, they're very playful. They run around and they're very funny. But yeah, they have their moments. Yeah, and they have their own toys, and I spray every morning. I walk with that one, the one that's here. She's like a dog. She wants to walk every morning, so we go around and walk together. And the other one just, she walks a little bit behind us if she feels like it. She's a princess. But and then they have their own toy, and then I sprayed with catnip, and then they each have their own toy. It's very funny, and they hug their toy, and then it's like a thing. Um, yeah, previous day low. It's sort of like hanging above it right now, but we've got settlement price here as well. So I'm sort of like, are we going back? We have a gap here as well, and I'm just wondering, what are we going to do? Are we just going to blast through? I am. Hey, Nigeria, hello to you. Edu boy, hello from Nigeria. Welcome, welcome. We're on the same continent. I'm from South Africa. I'm not from South Africa, but I'm in South Africa. Yeah, I think I'm getting more convinced that after 3 o'clock we're gonna run deeper. Um, you know why? This opening range gap of 6 February, this is the midpoint here. We didn't tag into that way. It's like fully, but uh, yeah, I think this level, I still I'm still interested in just a little bit below this level, I guess. 640. But I think I'll have to wait after 3 o'clock. So let's see what happens. I just have to, if I miss the trade, I miss the trade. I already missed the move because this was my move, but now I still have this midpoint here, and actually this line here is I guess my final London session. If it goes higher in London, I just don't know, to be honest. I can't frame a trade to the upside in this area. I can frame it to the downside, but I can't frame it to the upside because of those wicks. Um, yeah. I wish it would have tagged these the settlement price. So it looks like, for me, it looks like we're forming the 4-hour wick. The only thing that confuses me a little bit is that we don't have a wick to the downside. Now, sometimes what happens is if a candle starts like that, they leave it for later on, and especially now, I'm like, okay, if they're gonna leave it, and especially in this area, I'm like, ugh, we're gonna revisit it the next 4-hour candle. I can't trust it. I wouldn't mind if they would leave this 4 hour candle like this because that will make it nice for maybe the next one or two 4 hour candles. If it comes down, it's a very nice draw on liquidity. If that's the case. So where is the daily open? Here. What else do we have here? Okay, let's have a look at Asia quickly. What's the midpoint? I'm gonna go to 5 minute. I think, what do we have? Do you have any inefficiencies? Where do you go? Bum, 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 dum, dum. Where do you go? It's Asia high. Well, we have one little here. I mean, I could see us go up to here, and then we tag into settlement price, maybe into this wick. Okay. And 79 on this level here would be exactly settlement price. Yeah, okay, well, I still would like settlement price to be tagged. That's red line. Um, bum, 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 bum. I use both. I use 4 and 415. I look at both. I have the other one. This is the one that TradingView gives me, but I look at both. Yeah. So TradingView goes back. I think TradingView takes the 415 or 4 o'clock. I have to check, but I write them down both. Let me have a look quickly. 15. What did we use? I'll go back to quickly to. What did they use today? That's weird. It doesn't make sense here. That's weird. Which one? What does TradingView use? Closing price. Let me go to the 1 minute and see. Hold on. I want to see what TradingView is giving me. Uh, It's incorrect what they're doing. That's weird. Yeah, they close at 4:15. I guess I used the 4 o'clock, but it doesn't make sense. It's incorrect. It does not plot the 4 o'clock correctly. See, here's the 4. But I must say, it is being respected. But I do write down the 4 o'clock and the 4:15. Um, let me quickly. I did not do it yesterday, by the way. Let me quickly do it because I see something weird. That is weird because normally it was, I believe it was 4:15 or 4 o'clock always. Um, let me. 4 is here. 24, 4 and 4:15 would be. Hey, did you notice that 4:15 is exactly on the 2:15 macro? Interesting, right? Open. I guess it's the closing price. Bowser, what do you use? Do you use the closing or uh, but do you use the 4:15 open or closing price? But it used to be correct, so that's I'm confused as well. Well, anyway, 804. 768. So the 76, this comes close to the 4 o'clock here, or the 4:15. Um, 24804, 764, 762. Yeah, so I'm confused now. I have to figure that out. But I'm still, I must say, it works. The line, I thought, okay, it's still being used in many things. And also, I use it with Confluence with ES. Let's look at ES quickly, by the way. ES is right over here. See midnight. We see here we tag midnight at 2:15, and we did not on ES. So we are below previous day low on ES, and we are not. We are above it on NQ. Okay, so NQ is the stronger one today, so as far as I can see. 233 we tied. This is bullish. Uh, 25%, 68% is bullish and 32% is bearish. Hey, Francisco, I'm not so sure about bullish. I think we might be bullish for now, but okay, it's 3 o'clock. Let's see. Um, Yeah, I'm really struggling not to enter any short. I have to really put my I don't I don't know what I call it FOMO, but I find it really hard not to enter right now. But I can't really frame it properly because it's just some things have not happened that I want to. But look how it's forming. Um, I don't want to miss it, but I might. It's just feeling FOMO. I'm really feeling FOMO now, guys, because I just have to wait. I have to wait. But look how this looks now. But I just don't like this week. We're between 2 weeks now. Uh, 3. Okay, let's see if we can tag into. Hey, Mr. Chaos Factor, you always have FOMO. It's just how you manage it if you control it. We will always have it. It's something we need to accept. You will always have it, but the trick is to resist, to not give into it. Hey, Seek for Wisdom. Hello, hello. We will always have it, and it always comes back at moments, but it's just like, okay, I'm just not going to give into it. Because the moment you give in and you have a losing trade, that's where you start getting into that loop of you want to fix it. So, and I know that I will have FOMO today because, or now because I missed that move to the downside to the 50% of that weekly wick. So it's like, oh shit, you missed that large move, right? Which I thought yesterday, missing a move. Okay, it's okay. I'll have it, and then you miss it again because it happens in a time. So obviously you'll get, a little bit of, oh shit. But hey, I have to be. I don't want to have a. Look, I would have caught a falling knife to the upside, right? I really, like I said I want to be. I want that. Well, I still call it settlement price, even though I don't know if it's correct. But it still works most of the times, and I really want that to be tagged in. And I also said, look at the 4 hour candle where the flat, it doesn't have a wick, and most of the times it doesn't go lower in that 4 hour. Mm. So I guess I saved myself some money just now. 69%, so most of you are bullish. Um, Jullie is kopie, dit is heel lekker. Oh. Okay, yes, no, my cat doesn't have any FOMO, correct. Well, they only have FOMO about missing their tuna. That's the only thing they have to FOMO about. Okay, now, like I'm not anticipating in a long. I just don't feel comfortable entering in a long. I might miss the move again, but I'm not going to enter. Um, 8 past 3. What's my book? Again, we have a suspension block here. Just gonna use this one here. Okay, now am I ready to get back in? Pum, 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 pum. Um, I'm in a. Oh, you're in a long. Yeah. I don't want to enter in a long right now. I'm just gonna wait for my short, I guess. Pum, 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 pum. Right. Where did I put my? It's the same. I'm gonna wait for confirmation of this bearish breaker. I know we could have used another one already here, but I'm just gonna wait for a little bit more confirmation. So I've got enough room to the downside anyway, so I'm gonna wait for this one to break. Mm-hmm. Look at this one here. I'm not gonna miss this one. I missed already the good entry here. Good. Yeah, this is just gonna be fast. So I'm gonna retest and then I'll enter again. I'm gonna enter, but it's gonna run now. I haven't even answered. I didn't even have the time to enter on my own account, so I'm waiting for a retest. Uh, what are bloody levels? Okay, I didn't even have time to enter on my. I'm not even bothered anymore because I'm just already missed the move, but it's okay on paper. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a bus. They keep on coming. They keep on coming. No, I didn't take it on my account. It's just on paper. This. I didn't have the time. I looked at my account. It was closed. I didn't have my login date. I was logged out. I checked. I couldn't get in, and it was already moving. But you know what? Just analysis, execution. It's like a bus that if you read it right, you can read it right again, and you just engineer, you just journal it, and next time you'll be faster, quicker. It sucks that I didn't monetize on any of the moves today and yesterday so far, but it's okay. I mean, that's part of trading. I'm just happy that I got the short. I read it correctly. I said I want this to be tagged, and it did, and that was the move that I needed. Reading ES did not take out the midnight, so oh, lichtje. It's okay, guys. I'm a little bit annoyed about it, but I can't do anything about it. I hope someone else profited on it. And you know what? I think also like if we're still going to the downside, we're not done yet. I want to open my. I need to open up my account. Where is my bloody account? It's your entry guide. Okay, I managed to open up my account. Yeah, I don't care about this paper trade if it goes back because let's see if it retests this breaker. Oh, look at my little no FOMO cat. Look at my little no FOMO cat. Okay, so I missed the move to the downside. I opened up my account, but obviously you can see now it went straight back into the breaker. So I did not really do anything in closing my paper trade. Normally I would have done that obviously, but I was just busy opening up my account. But now I'm not. I wouldn't enter in a short now with this move to the upside. But I missed the move because my account was closed. Um, a little bit annoyed, but it is what it is. The trading gods do not want me to trade. So obviously, what would I have done if I would have been in a trade? I was just focusing on getting my account. I just wanted to figure out why did my account close? Why did it not go here? And I would have I traded up to here. If I would have seen it go up, I don't know what time was it here. 3 9. It actually also wasn't the time, right? This is actually not the time we like to trade it. I would have gotten out here when it would go back up into this area here. But more important is that we have a retest of this breaker. It blasted straight through it, right? Now the question is, what are we gonna go back down again? I don't think so. You want to be careful now. Okay, so I'm gonna mark the suspension block again here. Did anyone take that short? 30, 31. Okay, I'm gonna show you. So there was a gap that was formed at one between 130 and it wasn't this one. It was this one. It was a very small gap. It was just here. Then we had nothing here. Okay. Anyone? I'm still long. Are you still long? Wow. I'm still. I think. Um, you're long from 720. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. 320. Yeah, I can't. I just can't frame it long. I just cannot do it for some reason. I just don't like this structure here on the 4 hour for long. I think still we have some business down here to do. So I'm gonna keep on waiting for my shorts. 0.5, 0.3. You bought the dip. Yeah, I just can't frame it long from here. I don't see the potential to the upside. For me, I can't see a distribution candle for the 4 hour. I can see the distribution to the downside on the 4 hour, but not to the upside. I think I'm getting back in. I'm already in a short on my account though, but RD, yeah, could be. It could be. I'm gonna miss it then because I don't want to play along from here. You could be right, but I don't like the structure too much for my setup. Let's see what ES is doing. Uh, 3, 3, 4. Let's see. Midnight again. Midnight, midnight, midnight. 3, 4. Okay. This one is not valid anymore, but. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're dreaming. Risha, why are you dreaming? Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. What time is it? 3:36. 3:36. We're gonna go all the way down here, 600. Okay, I'm coming back in. Let me see. I just want the time is always I can't frame anything with the right time, but I do think we're gonna go all the way down here. Uh, we're gonna go below this 50% mark. Uh, but I don't like the time. So I think we have to wait for another 15-minute candle. This one just wants to go back and forth in the wick, so I'm just going to let this one play out. It's going to wait for another 15-minute candle. I mean, I don't see any bull. Doesn't look bullish to me at all, in the sense of because of all these wicks here, it just needs time. It's just going to need time. But I think it still has business down here before it can really, really go up. Went into that. Uh, 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 uh. Wicks. Yeah, I think 600 is something that I'm looking at that level around that level as well. Um, The question is, when is it time to move, right? We didn't even go to this level that I marked here, so I think we're still on our way down. Uh, even 586. Yeah, it's around 600. I've got around 600. Mm, but it still have some time. I mean, it could still take a while before it gets there, right? I mean, I think still about 2 hours. We could still hang around in this area for a while. You see how many times we've been tagging the previous day low and midnight now? Midnight has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It did go into that, well, let's call it, it is the settlement price, previous day closing price, I guess they call it, but it's still a mystery what they use now. Well, I do think we see it before New Year. I think we do see it before 6 o'clock actually. So actually, I hope that we see it before 6 o'clock. Um, I was hoping actually in London session, but let's see. We still have a 350 to 410 macro coming, so I'm putting my faith in. And if it's not the 350, for it could be the afterwards. So let's see. Look, I just don't see us going up from here. It's just, I think we might have to make another low and just, I don't see us reverse to really have the power from here to get through these wicks during this session to here. Um, I don't think we're going to have to wait that long. Suspension block hold, we tagged here, we didn't go higher anymore. New York tag, I'm just waiting for a 3 o'clock retest. I would love to see that happen. Ooh, and ES already did that. That could be the SMT that I was looking for already. Let's see. That is. Look, we're very close to a previous month low on ES. Well, close, not really, but it's not too far. 40 points, right? Did I say 40? I think it's. I mean, I meant to say 30 points. And where is the Oh, hello, my love. Are you waking up? Oh, hello. Hi. Where is the previous month low on NQ? Oh my, that's all the way here. Oh, oh no, the previous month is, oh, we already passed the previous month on NQ. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. We already passed it yesterday, and ES is here. So, see, so here we already passed it. ES still has to go there. Oh, I did see that that we had SMT on. Fen 5th, previous back in November. February 5th, previous back in November. February, yeah, you mean February 5th, right? Yes. Let's wait. Please, please. No worries, RD blog. I think I understood. I'm also just thinking maybe we get one of these for our candles that is just not going to expand. Could just be one of those non-expandable for our one. Well, hey, be careful with no glasses on. At least don't make mistakes with trading. Typing doesn't matter, but you have to just make sure that you can see the charts and the candles properly to make sure that you have um, trade the right candles, right? Okay, you know, I do see this little gap here. I wonder if we make one more leg up just to gap into this area here. Oh, are you being careful, my love? I was on MQ, not realizing I need to be on NQ. Okay. See, there's on the 15-minute, um, it's just inefficient. There's no fair value gaps. We do have inefficiencies in the sense of gaps, so larger wicks. So um, okay, macro starting. Let's have a look at my 1 minute. Breaker, bullish breaker. Let's see, we retest it. I'm gonna paper trade this, guys. Well, I'm actually now RD block. I'm actually now bullish because we have a breaker here. We made this move up and we are in a macro now. So I'm gonna do a paper trade. My stop loss will be low. It's a little bit larger than I would normally do because I don't want to trade more than 40 points. Well, it's still manageable. And then it's going to be 2R from here. But I just let's see if I can frame a 2R trade. It's a large breaker though, so we might go a little bit deeper. I might be in drawdown a little bit because we could go lower. I just have to frame the structure. I just have to trade structure that I see. 2R. Up to the daily open. That would take us back to this little volume imbalance and daily open. Um, yeah, I don't like really the way how it's moving. It's sort of like very lethargic, right? The structure looks bullish, but on the other hand, I'm also a little bit conflicted because I'm still more bearish than bullish, as you guys know. And I actually don't want to trade to the upside, but I still See, there we go. Um, see, I'm saying every time I don't like it to be okay, 4 o'clock coming. Hey, what happened to my trade? What the fuck? Oh, it's still on. Okay. I don't like it how it's moving, guys, to be honest. It's just annoying. I don't like how it's moving. I'm thinking I'm getting out. What time is it? 4 o'clock. If we're going below the suspension, I'm getting out already because I already said I don't really like it to be in a long. Um, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna wait for my stop. I have a short bias, so I should not even trade it. I should have let it go. Let's see. Pum, 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 pum. Okay, we are below. I'm not looking at 600 particularly. I'm just looking at inefficiencies and liquidity. I'm not looking at specific, and I know those whole numbers are working, but you could say the same about 800 or 600. It doesn't matter. But I'm not looking at 600 because of that number. I'm just looking at inefficiencies and what needs to be done. I think there's still work to be done. Sell side and buy side needed down here. So I'm more bearish than bullish because I think there's more inefficiencies to the downside. Well, we created new inefficiencies obviously yesterday. So, but yeah, it's always like, okay, who are now winning? Are the shorts or the longs winning? Then who are they want to trick out of their money? That's all. So like I said, if we get a 4-hour non-distribution candle, it's just gonna futz around and go back and forth, right? Hey, puppy. Is it Papacito? Did you change your name? Yeah, it's like I said. If I go to the let me again. I'll put on my but I can still be chopped up with my logic. I mean, so look at this opening range gap here on. I'll go to the 4 hour just to show you what I mean, and then you can see what I'm talking about. What do we lack here? This is an opening range gap of six. Yeah, you changed your name, yeah. So you can see we lack sell side and buy side. So for me, it makes more sense to go down to finish the job, but it doesn't have to. They could go half. So what they did already, they went midpoint, which was also midpoint of the 50% of the weekly range. So you need to get away. Oh. So there's work to be done. It's all about what needs to be. But I could also make the case that we still have an imbalance here as well to rebalance. So we could go up here to go back down again. This was my level I was waiting for in London, and it already happened before I even started the stream. So that was a little bit of a bummer for me. Um, but I'm not looking like, oh, it's a level that they might think, now, where do they need to go to rebalance and to go for inefficiencies? The market is only two things: seeks liquidity or balance out imbalances. This is a large imbalance. Buy side and sell side is still lacking on the 4 hour. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, oh, and who is winning now? The shorts. So people entering now, they're going to be taken out because of the back and forth, back and forth. Um, but yeah, we have an inefficiency now created. We have an old first percent of fair value gap of Monday, which we never actually even retested. Not even, we just went through it. So I could see us go back up here and then go back down. But um, the point now is you have to time it, otherwise you are getting you're getting chopped up. There's nothing balanced about this price range yet. This is totally, look at the 4 hour. This is an unbalanced price range. I mean, if you guys think this is balanced, you are dead wrong. So but anyway, that's my take. um okay guys, I'm gonna leave it here. Wait, we have CPI. Oh yeah, yeah, we do. We do. Yeah, yeah, thanks for reminding me, RD bro. um Let me check because I totally forgot to look at the news today. Yeah, CPI. on Friday. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So, um, yeah, we're just hanging out in this area. They are saving that for CP. Yes, yeah, yeah, I could be. Yeah, I didn't even I'm sorry, I didn't even. My bad, guys. I thought it was Friday. It's sort of like I automatically assume, I guess, that Friday no news, but I always check it, but I just totally forgot about to check it. And it's the same what they did yesterday, right? With the large move, they held it to make that large move later today, later that day. So Asia quarterly high, yeah. So I guess it, this 4 hour candle might not do that much, but it's still. I wonder if it still might make that move before 6 o'clock, but we'll see. And otherwise, they might do it CPI, but I don't think we are gonna spike up from here. I don't think we're ready yet because it's just too much to the downside here that we still need to be done. But again, they can leave it for another time. We've seen it before, right? Just saying, like, I mean, we hit the midpoint of that wick on the weekly, so it's such a big point. It's sort of annoying. I'm a little bit annoyed that it did it before even London session started. So, um, this is an important level here as well. We go back into here and then back down. Anything's possible. We just have to back above 2 day open. Yes. So we just have to wait, I guess, right? Um, 2 day open. I've got 2 day open here. Oh, you mean midnight? You mean midnight, right? Me and Theo. When you say midnight, you mean midnight, I think, right? Daily open is here at 6 o'clock, and midnight is here. I think a lot of people refer to 2 day open as midnight, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, we're just consolidating, guys. I mean, it's just it is what it is. Um, you can see the area here with the wicks, and we're just sort of like bouncing between those gradients. I'm gonna put on the 1 hour. We have a small gap here, 790. Thank you, RD Brock. You got a recommendation, appreciate it. Well, I'm actually not I'm not feeling too well today because I've got a bloody pain in my back. So I'm sort of like, oh, struggling a little bit. So I'm gonna keep it. No, I'm not gonna um, sit too long. I'm gonna go for a walk and hopefully feel better later today. I'm just a little bit annoyed that I missed that move. Well, I actually used to do New York as well, But lately I have only been doing London, but I will get back to a time that I will do New York as well. Um, 90-minute chart is trying to crack a bearish inversion. I love the 90-minute chart. I love the 3 hour. I love the, 3 hour obviously is 2 times 90. So 90-minute charts is the bomb. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm feeling better, but but I love it that Artie Brock, especially when people share their analysis. But I do get. I mean, I must be honest. I don't like it when people start to when I'm in a trade and make a mistake, or when I'm doing my if I'm just sometimes I just test new things on stream as well, and I'm just open about it, and then people like interrupt my process in the sense of, oh, but you have to, no, you're doing it wrong because you have to look here or here, and that's something totally different than just sharing what you're doing. What I really really like, because you're sharing what you're looking at, how you're looking at it, what your analysis, and it's not about lecturing another person, but it's really like, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and even if it's different than mine, I love that, because that's what I really like. But I hate it when people are really like, oh, no, but you have to look at, you're doing it wrong because you have to look at this and that. But you know let me make my mistakes as well, because I am here also to just share my journey, but also I want to feel open to make my mistakes. And if I'm looking, especially yesterday, I'm looking at how can I get better in shorter trades, because I used to be, I'm talking about in the past already, like I don't, I can't do that anymore. I used to be, it sounds really weird, a distribution trader with only large moves, right, distribution moves. But it has been hard for me reading the AMD properly, and so getting the hey, Mayan theory. Yeah, no, I believe. Hey, listen, I believe in the quarterly theory and 369, but ICT does not believe. He says he doesn't do anything with quarterly theory, but I do believe in the quarterly theory. And but no, ICT. He talks. Yeah, he says he has nothing to do with it, but I see full logic in it, and I really I sort of like look at it in some other tabs as well. So um, but if you quarterly mean like grading stuff or quarterly theory, he said many times, I know quarterly theory has nothing to do with me. But hey, listen, I think it's all. I think the quarterly theory is very complements ICT perfectly. So hey, bring it on, baby. I love it. And also the 90-minute charts are one of my favorites as well. 9 minute, 90 minutes, everything. So 369 is a thing. Oh, are we going to get our move to the upside now? Oh, it does happen a lot after the macro, but I'm still going to be careful with anticipating. Well, it might look like we might have some distribution to the upside now. Um, but my theory, I mean, you're talking quarterly, right? Or you just say, because quarter, I mean, ICT started grading his wicks and gaps with quarters in the beginning. So and he uses the also now the 1/8. But I guess there are two different things, right? But um, yeah, no, I love quarterly theory. So I think there are a lot of things that complement what he's doing, and they complement each other. So yeah, I've working a bit. We'll watch. I mean, nothing else to do. Okay, so when we do start running, a lot of the times, what happens, if it starts running, we can expect it to run until 5:20ish, 5:30ish sometimes. So let's see if it's going to be slow. I'm not going to trade this, by the way. I'm just curious to see if it does that. So we had, so it retested this breaker here. I guess this is a larger breaker, smaller breaker. Here we retested it at until 404, and then we went up again. We used this, and now we're expanding to the upside. So the move, I guess the move. So RD Brock, you were initially, I guess you were right when you, but you were early. You were just too early, right? You were here. Where was it? You are. I think you were already bullish here and here. But your analysis was correct, but it was just too early. No, you were not criticizing me at all. No, me and Theo, I was not regarding. No, it was no, it was. You were not. No, 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 not at all. Don't worry. Uh, I don't think you criticized me. No, it was. It was more. Sometimes it is like someone wants to. There's a difference between lecturing and sharing your knowledge. And if I feel like doing something because I'm testing either a new theory or something that I want to change in my trading. I make mistakes because I'm changing something, but I want to feel free to do that on screen, on stream. And sometimes there are people, and that wasn't today, that was not today at all. Um, while I'm actually working on my setup and looking at things, they're telling me to look at something else while I'm actually doing my process. And that is when I start to get irritated because I am doing my thing, what I want to do, and I'm okay to make mistakes and learn from them. So, and that's a totally different thing. So, but that's like, hey, look at this or look at that, because while I'm actually really looking into my own process. Um, but it's not, no, and that sometimes is a little bit because it takes me out of my concentration. But that's a totally different thing than just sharing. Hey, listen, I see it differently. I'm doing this because of that, blah blah blah. I'm not like, hey, look at this because no, you're wrong because you are. Look at that. Look at the. You're missing something. Well, if I miss it, it's okay. I'll journal it, but it's a fine line. I get it. I don't. People might not mean it that way, but I just want to get better at smaller trades because I just want to get better at base moves like, the 30, 40, 60, the 30, 40, 50 points. Oh, my theory, I think I heard, Brock, I saw that video from Brock's, right? I love those guys. I found something where I entered that this was, no, Zurich Times, Brock said that. I never did it because I was like, oh my god, if that opens up a new can of worms, I am. Um, but hey, listen, my Ethereal, I have opened up. Seek for Wisdom and I have been chatting about Goldbach. And we actually, on the Discord, I opened up a tab for Goldbach discussions because we are both interested in it, but I just hadn't had the time to go back into it. But I am still interested in Goldbach. So feel free to, if you have something interesting to share, and I will open up because I maybe do some session outside YouTube on Goldbach, maybe in the Discord. Um, so feel free to join the Discord and post some things. But I heard Brock say that about the Zurich time, but he moved away from that 90-minute cycle because it was a bit confusing for me what he was doing there. Um, but I thought, you know what? I mean, once I started going into that, and I just go nuts because I really want to investigate, and it takes so much time for me. So I did not do it, but I do believe that if he says something like that, it's still in the back of my mind. But yeah, do you think 2,500? Well, I actually went into a trade up to the daily open here, but I wasn't really feeling the long because I wanted to go short here. Um, but now we've been working our way through the wicks now, I guess. Um, 2,500. Yeah, you got in at 655. Well done. 655. So you're already positioned here in. Yeah, you got in at the. Oh, already, bro, you still got in. Okay, yeah, you got in at the midpoint of the wick. Yeah, I mean that was a good one, and this one was. What do you guys? What is your TP? Oh, my anti-hero. Yeah, I was my anti-hero. I was at me anti, but oh my god, I'm so not awake. I'm just like my anti, but it's my anti-hero. Of course, it's my anti-hero. I was reading me anti. I'm like, okay, gotcha. What's your view for today? So Arshad, listen, I had a short bias. I still have a short bias, but I'm just wondering now because it's Friday. We do have CPI coming. Um, we do have CPI coming. We're almost back at 20% of the weekly range. Once we are over 20% of the range, um, if we're going to reject in this area, then we might go down. But if we're going to go over this reject, we might have our TGIF already. So we have to be aware of that, guys. Also, um, the CPI data could bring us higher into the range, but we also could. This could be the start of the TGIF. Yeah, so I just stayed away from it, my anti-hero, because I was like, oh, I don't have time to get into. Because once I get into it, I go into that rabbit hole. Um, so I just want to watch now how it's going to react at the 20% of the weekly range. So we could still go down and take out, go into this area, but we also could be done here, right? And then go back and have our because last week we also had a TGF in London already. I remember, was it last week? I think so. We already had our move up. I was just a little bit annoyed when that we already hit this level. So I just I've been off since because I was like, um, yeah, Brock's completely changed the game. Oh yeah, these guys are awesome. I mean, yeah, I love those guys. Um, I can recommend all those videos of Brock's, and they're really good. But he changed his way of approaching things a little bit, right? Yeah. But anyway, my interior, you looked into that Zurich time and you saw something there. Yeah, I guess so. I knew, to be honest, when he said it, I knew there would be something there to find. So I stayed away from it now. But it's still on my list. Like, okay, if I have time again, I will definitely look into it. But feel free to share. We haven't done much in the Goldbach, but hey, Goldbach quarterly, I'm all for it. I definitely think they all um, it's all algorithmic, right? I mean, anything that's algorithmic, we embrace, and anything that makes it easier for us to read into, I guess. So. So, my anti-hero, do you combine quarterly theory with Gopach? Do I see that? Do I understand that correctly? Or is quarterly theory already like, okay, so we went into 20%. So this is also something, guys, that I noticed. Like if I'm not feeling it properly, it's also the slow moves that I don't really like. Now, yes, if you're in here, like RD and my anti-hero, I mean, I salute you guys that you can sit in these trades so long when it moves the way it moves. I just I'm just not good at that. I need like a very like on the higher time frame. I mean, I don't like it when it's like this and wicks. I need a clear AMD. And when I can't read that properly, I'm already confused. I'm just confused. I don't know. Um, I had one trade when I started. That was a trade here. It was a very short trade, 40 points. That's it. And then I was like, okay, well, and then I was too focused on the move to the downside, I guess. Most of you were bullish anyway. Let me check the pool. Hey, Casey, how are you doing? 65, 55 votes. No, well done. 65% bullish. I guess the bulls are right. We are in the midpoint of Asia. Do you think we're going to take Asia? You know, it just makes sense, you know, in hindsight again, if I'm thinking, like if we hit like 50% of a weekly range on a Friday, and I'm still thinking for a move to the downside, that's actually very naive of me, to be honest. Um, you've never seen 655? So this is the mistake. This is my mistake. It's Friday. I looked at the weekly range and we hit the midpoint, right? Which was also the midpoint of that N wall. Um, that is such a significant level that I should have instantly already switched bias because this wick. Now I want to look one more time at the monthly though. So I want to check it one more time because I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Did we really hit the 50%? Yeah, we even went over it. So we went on the weekly. I just want to check the full range. I want to wait. So we went below 0.5 of that weekly wick, even below it. We didn't tag, we went below it. Then on the other level, it hit 0.5 exactly on another measurement, which is midpoint of. You cannot stay bearish from there. You really have to. You said you use GoPro and it printed 655. Happy liquidity hunting. Must depart. Subscribe to your channel. Hope to see wonderful things. Thank you from the future trader. Well, my auntie, I see you back again. Thank you for engaging. Happy to have you here. Uh, Confluence, there's a focus on using the first imbalance before breaking structure to the. Yes, Confluence, there's a focus on using the first imbalance before breaking structure to the opposite side. Um, 655. This was a tricky one, right? We had this 15-minute candle went all the way down here and then it went back up, right? So you could say this was the retest of the inversion. Now the breaker was a little bit harder here on the 15-minute, but still you can use your order blocks as well. We kept retesting the order blocks here and then we made the move up. Here another retest of this one here and then a move up. Um, but it's not that I mean, it's not really that easy of a read, to be honest. I mean, it's still in hindsight, it's easy to read, but I guess from this low up to 20% should have been if you entered here on the midpoint of the N walk, which also was the midpoint of that weekly wick. From here all the way up here. Next, I won't miss that move next time, guys. I'll tell you. I journal myself until oblivion. But it's just 150 points, 160 points. How long did it take, right? That's what I. So this is the problem that I have with these kind of things. I love 150 points. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer them in max 2 macros. So if as a distribution trader, I want the clear. Okay, we hit a level. I get in. I use time and then one macro and maybe 1.5 macros, the 20 to 40 move, and maybe it takes out the liquidity in the next macro, for example. So let's say max 2 hours. But this is a bloody from midnight around. Let me see, what time did we hit this? 1:30 up to now. It's 3 hours. That is something I don't like, and I always struggle when it moves this way. But well done, you guys, for staying in and having confidence in your trade. Well done. But now we hit 20%, so let's see what we're going to do. I wonder if we're going to go higher, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to go. I need to go do some walking to get this. I need to get rid of that injury. It's like an injury I have with my maximus gluteus. Yeah, it's called the gluteus maximus, and I need to do exercises for it if I start having problems with it again. And it always goes to my back, to my hip, to the side. So I need to move, but not too much, because if I move too much, I make the injury worse. So it's the same as with trading. I need to balance it. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Um, I'll see you for sure Monday again on London. Maybe it just depends on how I feel. If I'll do a stream in New York, and otherwise it will be Monday. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hope to have more energy again next week. Hope everything is sorted then. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.